Hey, this is Chris from BattleRap.com. It's the end of Blackout 2. I'm sitting with this guy right here.
Yeah, Charron.
So Charron, pretty epic battle.
Yeah, I think it was the best title match in King of the Dot history. So that's, like I said, I wasn't saying I'm promising a win, but I always promised it was going to be the best title match.
Break it down for me in terms of, when you were waiting for that decision. Did you felt like you'd had it, or you didn't have it, or you had no idea?
No, I thought I lost that battle, and I'll give some people an in-depth look on what was happening. So the way I designed this battle was, this was like the longest rounds I've had to do for a title match, like 4-minute rounds or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I knew what the way it was working, Pat Stay's stage presence and everything. His first round is always his best. When you look at Marv, everything. So I was willing, I put all my, when I say worst material, I still like it's my best material, but when I'm done writing, I kind of made my weakest round. Planning, to lose there, because I thought Pat Stay was going to spit all of his amazing shit, which he did. His first round, I think, was his best.
I thought he clearly got that.
Yeah, he got the first. I knew he was gonna. Even if I put good shit in there, he was gonna beat me round one. So round two was gonna be like.
And sorry to interrupt, but why wouldn't you just put all? Why wouldn't you just keep writing until you had better about?
I did.
Okay.
I kept writing until there was I didn't really structure my stuff till a week left. I wrote the best material I could, and it's hard to explain this one. Why wouldn't you write better stuff? Well, I did, but I basically pieced my rounds together. I'm like, okay, my first was going to be my weakest round. Usually, battle rappers put their second as their weakest. Okay. That's just the way it is. Right. You always have one round that's not your greatest. Mm-hmm. So that was my first. I took the L in the first. It was okay, I kind of figured it was going to happen. Round two was going to be my second best round, which was a really strong round, and I really feel like I decisively got him in round two. Because round two, he does this whole jokey shit and stuff, so I'm just going to bar out and beat him out in round two there.
So in your third round, there was this kind of moment where you were talking about Holohan. Explain to me what happened there.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was this whole third round, it was just stories of stuff I heard, and obviously Holohan. I can't say if these are true.
Sorry, stuff you'd heard from Holohan or
from certain people.
Okay, right. Okay.
And Holohan was going to be behind Pat Stay, and I'm not saying these are true or Holohan said these were true, but Holohan was going to switch sides when I was saying, because it's all these stories are okay, it's battle rap. It was going to be the cancer, the snitch, all this stuff. You think I'm telling some white lies? Holohan, if all these are true, switch over to my side. And Holohan was going to do the switch there. And now my whole third round was based upon that.
Right. And the crowd would have gone crazy.
It would have been the biggest moment in King of the Dot history, right?
What was the... Yeah, it would have been massive. Massive. Yeah.
If you really think about it, the best battle of all time was Pat and Hollow, and then this was the biggest anticipated match, and then Holohan switches sides, and then I was just spazzing after that, and then it was going to end off with son loyalty. So we'll just remember Pat and Holohan was going to be you fucked up the loyalty. It was going to be so crazy.
So when did you find out that Holohan wasn't going to be up there?
Just right as I was about to go on stage and shit, there Pat was yo, I heard the bars. Someone told me your angle. I got a call last second. Yo, Holohan's not going on stage. And to his right too, I'm not hating on Pat and saying blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. He was basically saying my boys, there's gonna be a fight if this shit happens.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I don't want anyone getting hurt over this. So it's it's just yeah, you're not going on stage. He knows it. Pat knew the angles, and there was going to be a fight.
If you don't mind. So that was the conversation that was happening in the back corner backstage, right?
Yeah, it was getting pretty hostile, obviously for most people, because that's a huge angle that would have definitely won the battle. Because off that alone, it was still a close battle, and I didn't even get to spit my. The whole round was made up on that line.
Right.
So. People watch this big, oh yeah, why don't you freestyle? You're such a good freestyler. Any battle rapper will tell you when you have 4 minutes of material. I'm do you really think I could just freestyle and beat Pat Stay?
Just make fun of his shoes and then his pants and then his shoes.
It's I just freestyle. You could only freestyle so much. And my freestyles, if I would have tried, wouldn't have beat Pat. It's written. So like Pat's amazing. So I was just like restructuring my third. I had to try to explain the story. Hollahan, like people started reacting. Did you notice Hollahan ain't behind Pat right now, man? And then just go on this whole thing, and I was just going to spit a lot of stuff with like, so Hollahan's here, so it has to be true that it was in the verse, but it's like I can't spit it now.
Right.
So I really did not have a third round, and I was kind of just, those are like the whole angle about like the learning disability, which is true, is kind of like a throwaway thing I had that I decided not to use. So could you tell I almost choked doing it in any?
Nah, I mean, I was behind you, so you were kind of spitting towards him, so you lose some of the nuances of the performance.
It was very, very loosely memorized and stuff, something I wrote, and I was switching bars around, so a few points I almost did choke. So to anyone at home, most people think it's like all freestyle battles, like some people. So like, yeah, it doesn't sound that hard, but ask any battle rapper, it's memorized in a strict order. When you're switching this around and this, it's so hard. So I'm happy I got my stuff out. I wish I could have done more in the third, but I was just kind of shooken up about the whole thing. Like, obviously you find out the best bar you have can't be used. So,
right.
I mean, I was kind of, before the battle, I'm like, fuck, like, I'm not going to be able to win this.
That is a hell of a story.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's crazy. And I will state on record, I don't think it was Bishop or Gante. I told him. I didn't even tell Bishop my bars.
Good to clear that up.
But I did say to Bishop, like, he was kind of upset, rightfully so. I'm like, bro, I was in panic mode freestyling. I saw you on stage, and it was bad. I wish I didn't. I'm like, so he's cool with it. Like, I know Bishop didn't say that. I didn't tell. I'm still trying to figure out who did. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of a funny situation, ironically, that Pat lost to Marv over the same thing, where Marv just told his bars. Yeah. So it's almost like it's just bittersweet irony it worked out this way. But it almost works out for the best, because I don't know if what Pat and his boys were saying, but apparently there was going to be a fight if it happened, and if so, I'd rather have taken a loss than a fight happen. Obviously Hollahan and I had this thing planned out. It was going to be crazy. Personally, I don't think there would have been a fight, but the fact that he already knew, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I really didn't have a third round. Like, a lot of stuff I was just blending together and freestyling, and a lot of people said they didn't even know I was freestyling a lot in that third. I wish I would have done more rebuttals or something, like on stuff he said, but he just kind of went on this whole like shower angle that I was like okay, I'm not really sure where this is going, how I could flip it, and I was kind of restructuring my third at that time. Instead of thinking of a flip, I was like, okay, I could do this whole shower flip. I'm like, oh wait, I need to actually think of my third right now. So it was a very hard situation, but I did, in the third round, spit some stuff, the whole nonverbal learning disability thing. At least I brought it out and someone else did. It's, I'm sure it will be brought up in future battles.
Yeah, well, there, you got a new angle on you, so there's going to be more interesting battles against Charron.
It's cool. I wasn't even planning on spitting that. Maybe I should have saved it for a song. Who knows? Maybe it'll inspire future songs. But at the end of the day, it was, I was in a tough situation. Yeah. And if people do, I apologize to my fans. I know they wanted me to win, but I tried, man. I think
it's a hell of a battle. It's a hell of a performance. Hearing that, I mean, that's a hell of a story.
It's crazy. That was all you kind of saw some ruckus behind the scenes,
Yeah.
So I
got a great photo of the two of you in the background, in like the back alone.
Yeah, I took the L, but I think if the bars wouldn't have leaked out, I would have won with that crazy angle there.
Wild. All right, that's one for the battle rap history books.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm Chris Mitchell. This is Charron.
BattleRap.com.